Okay, guys, this is the 5th attempt of making this video. I don't know what is wrong with my tongue today. I just simply cannot talk. You know how some days you knock everything over with your hands? Well, today it's my tongue. I swear to God it is. So anyway, we're going to be discussing Jody Sue Brown versus Candus Bly. Let me get this copyright thing out of the way. I hate doing it every time, but it's what must be done. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. My opinions are just opinions and not to be considered factual until proven by law enforcement. Jody Sue has spent nearly 10 months now talking in circles, saying nothing, but continues to keep people hanging on with hints of knowing things that she might or might not come out with, but if she does, it'll be in her own time. And she's proven that. She has chastised YouTube creators for making money off of Summer's name and other missing children. But she chose to go on all those panels early on, and often several a night. She has since had fundraisers run for her to benefit her and her children, wish lists during Christmas time, and another recent donation, all ran by creators on YouTube, the very ones that she talks crap about. And so she complained about every single one of them. She stated on Facebook over and over that she would remain on Facebook and that she would not go on YouTube. But, as we all know, she's since gone on to YouTube after she said that she had done so in order to strike all the channels who had used her photos and videos that she had posted on Facebook. However, to date, she has only uploaded one video, that one being broken down into pieces. She said that she was fed up with how she and her children were being doxxed and terrorized must be one of her favorite words because she uses it so often, no matter what the subject is that she's speaking of. I and others found it odd that she would make a YouTube channel, and even odder that she spent the first day and several days after doing lives that were hours long, even a 24-hour live, done so that she could raise her subscriber count to over 1,000 quickly and gather watch hours in order to go live and to be able to monetize. She had her daughter as her moderator. That was the most shocking aspect of it all, actually, since she had spent months telling everyone that both of her kids wore headphones so as not to be exposed to what she was saying all day and all night long in all of her long YouTube live broadcasts. Her son was 18 at the time, and does anyone believe that he did wear headphones? She became angry over people saying that she spoke of her son as if he was a little child, and she explained that he had been in the box with her all those years and not able to get out and have a life. As soon as her YouTube channel came up, both her children were speaking, in front of camera even, no headphones, daughter moderating and interacting with the chat, and very excited to do so. People were shocked by it. Even before all of that, her daughter would either be in the car with her while she talked or whatever, and you would see the child, you would hear her speak to her mother, and her mother speak to her. And, it appeared that her child was very well caught up on all that was going on at the time, no matter who, what, or where. She then went on a creators panel where donations were sent out for her to help her son get a cabin set up with plumbing and electric. People donated during the live. I watched the entire live as it happened. She had offered up a cash app that she said was in her son's name and would go towards his bank account in order to help him get a cabin fixed up with electric and plumbing. The day after the live, she did what she has always done when someone has helped her, and she complained about it. But the cash app never left. It then went on to her YouTube channel and was pinned in chat, but according to Jody Sue, it would only be there when she was discussing domestic abuse, because that is what she originally said that she really wanted to do, speak out about DV, since she had experienced it for so many years with her children's father. During a live one night, she stated that she is not sure if she will add more videos to her YouTube channel from her Facebook page, that she really doesn't care about that anymore. But yes, she still gets angry if anybody touches them, right? But she had not made up her mind at that point if she would go forward with a channel keeping it about Summer or possibly DV or both. She wasn't sure if she would make 2 channels or just keep it the one channel. As time went on, she did not make 2 channels. She kept the one channel and would title her lives, and still does, in a manner where you never knew which subject she would be speaking on. So you would have to click, right, each link in order to find out, and that gives her views, whether you were interested in the DV aspect or the Summer aspect. You know, part of what she speaks out about all these tragedy pimps and how they do things all the time, that they're not in it for Summer, but building their channel with clicks, likes, views, and money. Before I go any further, let me say that I consider Jody Sue the same as all those who she refers to as tragedy pimps. She does exactly the same things. Jody Sue has this way about her where she is unable to see what all she says and does about other people, that she is exactly like them. Everything that she speaks on, she herself does. Pot calling kettle kind of thing. You see what I mean? I feel that in the beginning she was angry that people made money off of her videos, and she figured what the hell, she would do it too. I can't say that I blame her for that. I would have done the very same thing, to be honest. What I did have issue with, and others, is how she has gone about it. She should have just said outright that she was going to do it and put the Cash App up, instead of being like, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, and then end up doing it, okay? It's terrible to eat your own words. Instead, she waited, and slowly but surely, like people predicted, that Cash App would come out and she would start speaking of DV, and then, slide into the Summer case while she was talking about the DV and back and forth, and people noticed. So then she would pin the app in her chat, speak, and then remove the pin, which would then be removed when she would speak about Summer, and then she'd go back and forth, removing and adding the Cash App. So now she has the Cash App whenever she is speaking of anyone, Jose, Candus, and so on. All those people are on Summer's case, but she says that she will not have it listed if she's speaking directly of Summer's case. Not that there's much to say about Summer's case if all those people aren't included, right? What is there to say? What happened on June 15th, 2020, and that's it. Makes for less than a 5-minute live. Once you've said it, you've said it. She has a large list of followers, but most are following for the drama, waiting for her to make slip-ups, and she has made her fair share. What I don't get is there's one creator who protects her, who will call everyone else involved liars, but does not do the same for Jody Sue. Why is that? Is that person somehow indebted to Jody Sue in some way? People have noticed and spoken out about it, and I've wondered the same. Jody Sue has clearly made herself a public figure and has inserted herself into every aspect of the Summer Wells case. She should be called out just as much as every other person is and has been. Everything that she says should be questioned, slip-ups brought to attention, and so on. She is definitely hiding something. Can you already see why so many people watch her, even though she repeats herself and has repeated herself for months and months, the same thing day after day after day after day, and only came out recently with remembered knowledge once Candus began going live or after Don Wells went to jail. Jody Sue flips a switch each and every time Candus speaks to someone. Have you noticed that? Just look back at the times that Candus has spoken, either via her own channel. Some of them you're not going to find because Candus deleted them, you know. I have them, and I have the dates. You can look back in time and you can see that, each and every time that Candus has gone on a live, either on her own or someone else's, spoken by phone to someone and they aired it or whatever, every single time, Jody Sue will have a live recording, during the same time frame. And it's right in front of your face, guys. All you have to do is go back and look. She says that she doesn't do this, but she does do it. She does not want Candus talking. There is a reason. Candus has said very little concerning Jody Sue over time. Though many have tried to get both Candus and Don to talk about Jody Sue and her ex-partner, Andy Bernard. Don had nothing bad to say about Andy Bernard and did not think Andy Bernard had anything to do with his daughter's disappearance. He never said anything about Jody Sue either, other than to say that apparently his neighbor heard a scream the day that his child went missing. Candus, however, months ago, while inebriated, did say that she had stayed at Jody Sue's house to watch Jody Sue's house while Jody Sue and Andy Bernard did a drug run to Washington, D.C. That was all that was said for the longest time, even though both Don and Candus knew that Jody Sue was talking smack about them daily. Then on a live broadcast on Prayer Garden of America, PG, who is Prayer Garden, Benny Keys of Blood Money Benny Keys and Candus were on a panel. They were discussing several things, and Benny asked Candus some questions concerning Jody Sue. He asked her what time did Candus see Jody Sue at the bottom of the hill, and Candus replied that she was not sure, but she thought it was 4:30. 4:30 is a big time frame that I have discussed with you all in earlier commentaries. It has suddenly become a time of more interest to me, now more than ever before. Before, it was just a time that Jody Sue claims to have heard a scream, one that she and her son tell the same way, much like a script, much like the script that everyone accuses Don and Candus's mother of having, yet two different scripts. But both sides of the hill have their own script. Listen again to Jody Sue and her son and how they have said what they have said about that scream, and how Jody Sue refers to that scream in her mini videos. Anyhow, back to Benny, Candus, and PG. Benny asked Candus about Jody Sue's purse that Jody Sue had said that she had dropped after hearing everyone calling out for Summer. And Candus said that she did not see Jody Sue with a purse. And then there was discussion about whether it was a purse or wallet or a phone. I don't plan to get into all of that. I merely mention it because Jody Sue brings it up a lot, the purse wallet thing, often when she's speaking out about Benny and Candus. What we were talking about was what Candus had said about oh my goodness. What we were talking about was what Candus has said about Jody Sue prior to Don going to jail. She said that she did not see a purse and that Jody Sue was at the road around 4:30, but she wasn't sure of the time and that she couldn't really remember. She also said on another live that her neighbor, Jody Sue, heard a scream, but that Candus could not hear it as she was in the house with her boys with the TV on and looking for Summer. But other than that, oh, wait a minute. There's that 4:30 thing again, guys. Did you just notice that time frame of 4:30? There's another instance of the 4:30 being mentioned, okay? So, other than that, Candus had really not spoken out about the neighbor across the street. Jody Sue disputes seeing Candus before 6:09 and states that her proof was in a message that Jody Sue had between her and Andy Bernard that day, and that she would be at the bottom of the hill waiting for him, and she gives the time of that message at around 6:09. So that is all that I can quickly rattle off top of my head about what Candus has said about Jody Sue in all of this time. But Jody Sue, on the other hand, I would be here for a week, okay? She had plenty to say for months upon months about Candus, Dawn, Summer, and the boys. About everyone who visited Candus and Dawn, the list is long, but let me just toss out a few names real quick. Andy Bernard, Fred Hill, Jose Ramon, Allie Harris, Hunter, Crystal Spencer, just to name a few. Jody Sue insinuated things about the boys and even came right out and accused Dawn of SAing Summer and the boys, and that she was aware of it prior to Summer's disappearance. She spoke of pieces that she had been working on before Summer got gone, and still is. Dawn went to jail, and Jody Sue had even more memories come to light, and her brain became unfogged, and she suddenly remembered new things that she had no memory of before Dawn went to jail. And Candus made a YouTube channel, and everybody was looking at Candus's stuff, and then Jody Sue lost her shit. She says that she does not watch Candus or anything that she is on, but she's very knowledgeable of all things Candus. I do know that she has some of her followers make sure that she doesn't miss anything by sending her links and stuff, and messages. Everybody does that. But my point being is that she does know and immediately will do a live right after Candus speaks to anyone. Jody Sue has threatened to sue many people if they speak on her or her family or use anything that she has on her lives or on Facebook. Jody Sue can't sue someone for repeating what she herself has said. Jody Sue is not all that knowledgeable about that aspect of the legal system, apparently, or what fair use is for YouTubers to use what they have found. You can request that someone remove something that you find on a site that you do not want out there, but that person does not have to remove it because you requested or demanded. If you have your information set to public, it becomes public domain somewhat, so to speak, and very hard to fight in court. How is it that she can feel so free to talk about everyone under the sun, but everyone needs to be afraid of the big bad Jody Sue? So we were speaking of scripts, lies, and so on, and I mentioned how Candus and Jody Sue each have their own scripts. Each have changed their scripts many times. I have a huge file on each of them and on Dawn that begins from the moment that each spoke publicly and so on. They are so long and have become so massive, and I will someday get around to putting them online here in chapters due to the length of each. I keep adding to them every day, so God knows when that's going to get done, guys. Like I said, some of this right here is some of that. Okay, but we can't call one a liar without also looking at the other in the same light if we're going to discuss how the scripts have changed or been added to as time has gone by. There is a lot more going on or has gone on between these two women than we're aware of. Just yesterday, Jody Sue did an almost 4-hour live after learning what Candus had said about her the night before. And Candus actually did not say much at all, if the truth were told. If she had, the whole true crime community would have been all over it. Instead, they focused on other things, but Jody Sue did not. She completely became undone. There have been other times that Jody Sue reacted in such of the same manner as yesterday. All Candus had said about Jody Sue was that Candus had problems with Jackie Dobbs, Jody Sue, and Andy Bernard, and then mentioned the land dispute that the three had between them. Candus was unable to say more because the conversation went on to all things Jackie Dobbs. That was all it took for Jody Sue to lose it. Jody Sue then, in typical Jody Sue fashion, went on her live and blew up, even went so far as to outright accuse Dawn and Candus of murdering their own daughter. She insinuated that something was going on and is going on between Andy Bernard and Candus, and how she is aware that Andy Bernard has been visiting Candus. Jody Sue is speaking directly to Candus, and it almost seems like she's speaking to Andy as well. It's really hard to tell. Jody Sue is speaking directly to Candus through her screen during this live, and Jody Sue goes on to say that she was sure that Candus and Andy Bernard had a lot to talk about, that both of them damn well know that Jody Sue is not happy about, and that everybody is afraid that she is going to speak on it, and that she every day wants to speak on it. And so Jody Sue then went on to say that it also plays part in the whole Utah thing that they thought that she didn't catch on to, but she knew there was something up with, because their lying bullshit wasn't good either, before or after. And the reason Jody Sue was digging, but obviously didn't get the parts for and couldn't find shit, otherwise June 15th, would have never happened. So Jody Sue, what is it that you want to speak on? What is it that you know that everybody is afraid you will speak on? Spit it out, girl. Sounds pretty bad to me, and much more than an ex-partner being jealous over the monster that she says that she's so glad to have escaped from. So now, 10 months later, to me, it seems to be so much more than a scorned woman and a scream. A lot more. Jody Sue went on to say, and this is exactly how Jody Sue says this: I find it strange or suspicious of somebody that it is definitely damn suspicious of you to the point and degree that, screaming, and in a way I know you heard. Law enforcement, feds, EquiSearch definitely heard that y'all murdered Summer. There you are. I let it the fuck out. But now you're suspicious. All right. Little weird, but okay. All right, girl. You're so suspicious. You're still messaging and talking to... All right. All right. Evidence of which is very much there in Floppy Burger's old bullshit. Remember that? Your guardian angel, your protector, your handler. Because he can't. He just can't. And Jody Sue does her hands in a motion to show that he can't keep his mouth shut. Because money, right? For y'all. For all y'all. And then she goes on to talk about Benny and her usual talk about how he set her up months ago and all of that. Okay? All right, so there was a lot longer. There was dramatic pauses throughout all that I read. And, everything is read differently by others. So, my tone and inflection of my voice and everything might not apply to the way that Jody Sue did speak. So, I recommend that you all go to her channel and look at her live and watch the whole thing. Someone in her chat mentioned that Candus had said that she was afraid of Frank Light, which Jody Sue refers to as FL. Jody Sue tells the person to hold that thought. So unless I missed something, Candus did not say that she was afraid of Frank Light. She did not mention him at all. She said that she was scared of Fred Hill, and that everyone was. I recommend everyone to go to that live and watch this for yourself, so that she can't come back later and say that, I've taken things out of context or this or that. Her anger went on for hours, and after, she has called Candus out for everything under the sun, according to Candus, Dawn, accusing Candus and Dawn of things that she has no proof of, saying that Andy Bernard beat her up because Jody Sue did not agree with Andy Bernard at first, when Jody Sue thought that Candus was innocent and Andy thought that they were guilty. And then Jody Sue changes the whole Jose thing, to even now include him in her thoughts of who might be the ones who brought harm to Summer. Jody Sue said Don or Jose are the ones that are on her list. Is it not funny that Jody Sue just spent hours for days talking about how Jose was irrelevant, a liar, and all of that? And now, suddenly, Jody Sue thinks it is either Don or Jose that caused whatever happened to Summer to happen. And didn't she just say moments earlier that Don and Candus murdered Summer? Bless her heart, you guys. Now remember, she's talking to Candus throughout this whole thing, this whole 4-hour long live on her channel titled Lying Shade Meets Solid Brick. So after Jody Sue has torn Candus a new one, accused Candus and Don of murdering their child, and so on, Jody Sue flips another switch. And she appears to get emotional, and then begins speaking more softly in her purposely directed conversation to Candus, talking about how she understands how Candus might have done this or that due to living with her own monster, and how she might have been afraid of Dawn, and that Dawn is gone now and Candus needs to tell the truth. She nearly begs Candus to stop talking about her and her kids. Has anyone heard Candus talk about Jody Sue's kids like Jody Sue has talked about Candus's kids? Or at all? Anyone? She blames Candus for the way Benny Keys has treated her from the very beginning, and accuses her of having been in cahoots with Benny from the very beginning, and appears to try to get Candus to realize that they've both been used by Benny and they both have similarities, and that Candus should understand that Jody Sue is not her enemy, that she wants Summer found, and that was all. Jody Sue has conveniently forgotten all that she has said and done concerning the Wells family, and that Candus has a right to be ticked off at Jody Sue. If I were Candus, and innocent, as Candus says that she is, Jody Sue would be in a heap of trouble, and that trouble would have found her months ago. Jody Sue has spoken all this time about how terrorized she and her kids have been during this whole saga, but she has never once stopped talking, never stopped throwing this person or that person under the bus. A scared person does not do that, you guys. You know that. Jody Sue knows that Candus has a lot more to tell about Jody Sue, and why Candus hasn't yet just might be because Candus recently told everyone that if she were to speak on these people, her life would be in danger. Jody Sue has said many times that Andy Bernard is a dangerous man capable of anything, public shootings, you name it. He's capable of everything but having something to do with Summer's disappearance, depending on which live you're talking about. Now, after her recent live, this one we're speaking of now, it leaves one wondering about all of that too. Maybe it is not Andy that Candus is afraid of. How many of you would let a woman speak of you and your family the way that Jody Sue has and not have a huge problem with it? Jody Sue in no way, to me, appears to be a nice person in any shape, form, or fashion. Her eyes have that hard, mean look in all of her videos. And, you got to remember those early videos, people, where she spoke in the manner that she did before she put her mask on for public consumption in cash apps. Well, guys, I have a whole lot more to say, but that has to wait for another day. Pay attention, people. Don't forget to like and sub to my channel. And until next time, stay safe and have a nice day. Bye-bye.